This is not only a story of boundless freedom and exploration into the unknown, but ultimately understanding that running away is not the answer to your problems. I hit rock bottom back in 2018. My mind, body, and soul were screaming out for help. I was in so much pain. I was suffering in silence. I realized how lost I'd become. I had no sense of who I was, where I belonged, and was holding on to an identity based on societal conformity and programming, people-pleasing, external validation, and of course, perfectionism. To put it plainly, I cracked. The tension in my soul became unbearable. I couldn't fathom this reality. I questioned my existence, and life seemed meaningless. Obviously, I sensed a huge shift within myself, forcing me to make a change. What that entailed, I had no clue at the time. I just knew I needed to make something happen before the worst. Since then, I never felt the same. When 2020 hit, tensions were high. All amounts of logic and reason had been thrown out the door. I felt like society was collapsing and to a certain extent is still on that trajectory. All of my surroundings, all the people and places I knew, felt as though they were all crumbling away. To me, I felt like a great portion of the world was living in complete delusion. There was no sense of normalcy anymore. I needed a timeout of sorts from all the world's nonsense, even from my own bullshit. I needed answers to my own questions about life and about myself. I felt stuck in a cage for 28 years, surrounded by a facade that kept me complacent and out of touch with my true self. I had this romantic idea that I would be able to bypass and evade society's problems, and even myself, and find all my answers hidden away elsewhere. At least that was my hope. So I decided to run away. I took full advantage of the unprecedented turn of events happening in the world to fuel my long-held curiosity of living nomadically and go on an exploration of sorts across America, to possibly gain perspective, to seek clarity, to slow down, to find solitude, to feel depth through genuine connection, and of course, witness the beauty of the United States. I sold all my belongings down to the bare minimum, built my car Pearl into a home, and just left. 28 years of familiarity and comfort without a real plan, destination, or even knowing when I'd be back. On January 5th, 2021, the road would be my home now, and I would let the wind sweep me up. It took a few days to get adjusted, but truthfully, it wasn't hard for me to live this way. Growing up, I really never had much. I adapted well to various situations and environments without complaint. It was an acceptance of what I'd be facing while I was living on the road. It was second nature to me. I drove long hours. I cooked meals and ate ice cream. I explored as my body allowed. I allowed time to breathe, meditate, and for proper introspection. I found places to sleep. I found places to do my business. Washed clothes. Tried to take showers. Try not to die. And repeat.
Probably the most dangerous time I've ever... Very stupid, don't do this shit.
You get to witness the most beautiful of things and places. Become fully immersed in nature. It's such a grounding sensation. I took my sweet time getting through each state and made it a point not to linger too long in large cities, except for replenishing supplies and sleep. I became slowly overwhelmed at the immense variety of things to see just in America alone, starting northbound up the California coast and zigzagged my way across, hitting state line after state line. I took as many scenic routes and stopped as often as I could. It was astonishing to me how each state had something unique to offer. I had my share of unexpected encounters.
Oh my god. It's right there. Guys, it's snowing. Woo! Look at that snow! Fucking snowing! I'm not even that high up.
Chased waterfalls. Sunsets and sunrises. Got stuck in snow on the side of roads. Stranded with a dead battery in the middle of the desert. Braved dangerous windstorms. There's some hurricane force winds outside. surprised by rainbows, got lost attempting to find secret caves,
Right there. Gotta go that way. I think I'm almost there. Got a casualty. I think there's more trail markers here. There's an opening trail here. Almost there. Almost there. Where does this go? Is that the fucking thing? Not there yet. Follow this guy. Are we there yet? I'm gonna try this route.
and even nearly died on a few occasions. I ended up just fine though. Of course, my journey wouldn't have been special without the amazing people I met along the way. I made it a point to mind my own business while I was traveling, to not extend my hand out to people, and to allow the universe to place people in my path instead. Every individual I met on my journey happened to cross paths with me based on chance. And I could not be more grateful for every one of those beautiful souls and our sacred interactions. It was an opportunity to allow my open mind and heart tune into other perspectives, outlooks, and overall view of life, regardless of what their beliefs are and where they came from. Literally every single individual has a lesson to teach. Some I've even had the humble honor of reconnecting for fun occasions. I found there was this unsurmountable level of freedom you attain when you live this way. It almost felt illegal to me. Much of your standard worries when it comes to travel disappear completely. You are literally bound by nothing and to no one. Your time is yours. You want to camp somewhere for 2 weeks? Go right ahead. You don't feel like driving anymore? Pull over and pick back up the next day. Feel like dancing your ass off like no one's watching? You don't say. You have everything you possibly need encapsulated within your vehicle. I could go anywhere I wanted, whenever I wanted, and do almost anything. Pure freedom awaits you the moment you adopt this lifestyle. But for me, it came at a price. As I left my mark across the country, I did my best to capture what I could with my camera. My perspective of America and its natural beauty and moments in between. Unfortunately, it was pretty early on when I ran into a mishap when I accidentally destroyed my hard drive. My 8 years of documentation and work wiped clean in one fell swoop. I didn't have the luxury of ordering a new one for several months, so I instantly knew that I would be limited on how much I could capture. It was a frustrating wake-up call, but I accepted it as a clean slate, a sign for a new beginning. Despite all this, I think I captured some good ones. By the time I got to witness Yellowstone in all its glory about 5 months in, my ability to document came to a complete and utter halt. I couldn't pick up the camera anymore. I had this sudden realization that I'm exhausting myself trying to capture everything around me, just for the sake of boasting to others that I'm doing something special. I've grown to have a very terrible relationship with social media and highly criticize what it's done to the outdoor community, and even broader, the world and humanity. I was walking this fine line of what is the real reason I'm out here taking pictures for. I was burnt out at this point, not being fully present on this journey, and it's unfortunate to admit, I didn't want to touch my camera again, as early as April whilst leaving Utah. All of my content thereafter was captured nonchalantly and sparingly with my phone, nothing more. I made it a strong boundary that I needed to buckle down and focus on myself and not pander to an algorithm and to people who are so busy with their cookie-cutter lives and couldn't comprehend or give a shit what I was doing. I needed to start validating myself. I'd like to tell you that I explored all 50 states. I'd like to tell you that I found what I was looking for and that I was happier. I'd like to tell you that I healed on my journey. I was miserable. I didn't know what to do with myself. I had this preconceived notion that I needed to accomplish something when I was on the road. I couldn't just enjoy myself. There were so many long days where I would literally drive for hours towards a destination in mind to explore and end up just parking the car to just sit in silence until the day ended so I could go to sleep. Despite the grand odyssey I was undertaking, I felt as if I couldn't truly take it all in and enjoy my surroundings. The camera, and more prominently, social media, got in the way of things. That giddiness when you experience beauty, new things, joy, just wasn't there. Just totally underwhelmed by the things I was experiencing. I wasn't excited anymore. Things almost felt meaningless to me and an outright waste of time. I was coming down this glorious high. But why? Little did I know that my search for answers to life's questions and my own problems were nowhere to be seen. Even though I had many signs during my journey that seemed to be pointing me in the right direction, the feeling of being lost inched its way back into my headspace and interfered with my ability to continue on with vigor. It was only later that I had a realization that I myself was the source of all my problems, torment, and dis-ease, as all issues typically stem from. My journey with Pearl came to a halt on August 2021 for more reasons than one. I was sad, anxious, exhausted. My body was in pain. I was fighting my own destructive thoughts. I was gradually slipping back into old habits and old patterns. I lost my motivation to throw myself into the journey. I was done. My own mind was to blame. I let that little shit wander, and I didn't have the strength to overcome. I've always struggled mentally due to unforeseen circumstances. It's never been easy, but I've always seemed to be the one who's made it even more difficult. I carry a lot of shame and criticize my actions and thought process daily. I chronically overthink every situation and manage to screw myself over time and time again. I asked so many questions while I was traveling and processed so many negative comments from myself. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I wasting my time again? I don't deserve to be doing all this wandering. I should be contributing something. Why am I so terrible with people? Why can't I just enjoy myself? I really am incredibly lazy. I'm almost 30 and I don't have anything to show for it. I'm not doing enough. My photography just isn't worth looking at. I feel like such an ignorant little kid when I'm out in the world. I feel so small, insecure, and insignificant. Why don't you ever speak up and stand up for yourself? It was demoralizing. And on it went. Around the clock, I was beating myself up whenever possible. Cyclical judgment and compound interest of years of my mind, body, and soul just absorbing all these words like a bullet from a gun. A thick cloud was always in the distance, just lurking. If there was one thing that I discovered in the last several years, is the realization that I simply don't give myself enough credit, and that I have so much hidden potential. My mind needs to be tamed, and personal traumas need to be released from my subconscious and my body in order for me to experience joy again. And the big one, I'm well aware that I've lost my ability to express and love myself deeply. That is the key to an exhilarating life. I did eventually make my voyage back to California earlier in 2023, as difficult of a decision that was, but not without spending a great deal of time acclimating to life in the South, establishing strong roots in Louisiana. A story I can always share another time. Being home now, it hasn't been ideal. Things feel off, and I don't feel settled in, and my growth has become stagnant, but I'm persisting. And sadly, Pearl is no longer in my life. I sold her the moment I got back. With bigger plans in mind, hopefully in the near future. Besides these recent changes, I've gotten the chance to finally sit down and reflect on my long journey living on the road. As I procrastinate here with my horrible attention span trying to piece together my inconsistent web of thoughts, I find myself looking back with immense gratitude at what has unfolded over the course of 2 years. It is a rare gift I was able to embark on this quest of mine, to have the courage to leave behind everything in pursuit of something greater for myself. I can honestly admit that I really was running away from my problems and from myself. And it bit me in the ass. Being afraid and escaping my reality was never the answer. As I've been told quite often, and always stubbornly refuse to accept, you really do carry your shit on your shoulders wherever you go. It haunts you. You need to dedicate yourself to resolving the unexpected things life throws in your path, as uncomfortable it may be, or you will continue to lash out externally and blame everyone except yourself. Your pursuit of happiness and meaning in this human existence is a matter of perspective, mindset, attitude, and pure presence. I am a firm believer that your outcome of life and what you're experiencing, whether it was hell or heaven, has everything to do with your own choices. Your life is ultimately your fault. And just as eye-opening, you have total control over how your life pans out. That essentially means you possess every ounce of power to make your life great and enjoyable or complete and utter chaos and despair at this very second. Everyone and anyone can turn their life around and change their circumstances if they choose to. Take fucking ownership of your past. Stop making up excuses and playing a victim. Take on the responsibility of changing your life. I've learned so much about myself and realize I lack so much love. I see it as a glimmering treasure sinking down a bottomless ocean. I often chronically look at my life with great scrutiny and judgment, but things must change towards a lens of positive reinforcement and being your own best advocate and friend. Love was always a foreign thing to me, an eternal force I knew needed to be reignited. Practice loving yourself. Push yourself towards growth. Be kind when things falter, and show love in any way and everything you do. Grow that energy so that it flows and spreads in all aspects of your life. Amongst the magnitude of breathtaking things that I got to witness, I saw firsthand why having the luxury of experiencing life with other people, especially the right people, and even living vicariously through others, sparks something in me. As much as I promote the benefits of solitude and learning to sit in silence and being comfortable being alone, my most memorable aspects of my journey have been the people that I've gotten to share time with. Additionally, I tried my hardest not to set expectations for the journey ahead and the people I'd meet. That's where I'd often found myself disappointed. All these preconceived notions and judgments only proved to be a disservice to you at the end of the day. It was on the road where it dawned on me how much decision-making life entails, regardless if it's the right decision or not. Some even came down to life and death for me. You have to be confident and decisive at all costs, something I've always struggled with. As I continue my spiritual journey, my anxious thoughts kept me from being fully present on the road, to the point where I couldn't appreciate the magnitude of what I was doing. The moments just slipped through my mind. Embrace the present moment. Come back to your breath. Pick up the details in the here and now, and you'll create memories vivid enough to smile back on. Don't let road life fool you. By no means is it glamorous, especially when you're in the wrong headspace. Days are long, rough, and dirty. You have to be patient with yourself and fully commit in order to squeeze the benefits. My God, the amount of freedom you'll experience. The road will not only help you toughen up inside and out and grow your skill set, but help you confidently take a shit in nature. I encourage everyone to try it for themselves in this life or the next. If I were to express one final message to you all, and even for myself, it would be this. For the lost and weary, for all the self-proclaimed wanderers of the world, I want to be the light in the dark for you, and the voice that reminds you that there is nothing wrong with you. You are powerful, you are worthy, and deserve a magnificent life. We are all spiritual beings living a very weird and brilliant miracle of an existence in human form on planet Earth. Practice love and gratitude daily. Learn to create meaning in a sea of meaninglessness. As existential I can be in regards to why we're all here, I cry often knowing that I'm very lucky to be alive and trying every day. Even though I'm exhausted with the pain, suffering, and the thought of meaninglessness, hold on to that thin thread of motivation you have left. Speak hope and success into reality. There is no time frame to all this. Your time will come as long as you truly believe it, provided that you put in the deep work in secret to better yourself in all aspects. There is no other option. You will eventually flourish before you know it. Here's to existing. I love you all. Hey there guys, it's Ben. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. I hope you enjoyed this little film essay I put together of my travels, and I hope some of you would be able to take some lessons away from my words. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this one. It took some time to piece this one together, to make it feel cohesive and to make sense with the amount of footage I had over the course of 2 years. It's definitely my proudest film thus far, and of course, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all the people that I've had the privilege of meeting while I was traveling. It's been an honor, truly. Also, I'm absolutely shocked at the response of my last video, so if you haven't checked that out yet, I will link my Jeep Patriot camper conversion video right here, as well as below. And just a reminder, I also have my Amazon links below as well, for anyone who's interested in what I use during my travels. If you buy from those personal links, I'll definitely get a little commission coming my way, so thank you. And as you may have glanced at in my film, I have taken a lot of photos during my journey. If any of you would be interested in supporting my photography and willing to showcase my work in your homes, I will be linking my darkroom print shop down below as well. That would mean so much to me. Anyways, I'd love to see comments and questions from you guys. And of course, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It's been awesome, guys. Thank you so much again. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love. Peace.